Right, we are now joined by Ben for a post-show interview. You won the gauntlet once again, no stranger to winning the gauntlet, and you are winning. Now, obviously, all the final calculations haven't been done yet, and we do have to like total in like bounties that weren't claimed and things like that. But it looks like you have won roughly $6,000.
Straight to the retirement fund.
Congratulations. That is very nice. I think the overall total prize pool, including like everything, including bounties, including the giveaway raffle stuff as well, was 35,000 roughly this time around. So pretty sizable prize pool, and you take a big chunk of that being rank 1 witch and rank 1 overall. How do you feel about this gauntlet compared to previous ones?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I'm glad that I played. It was fun. The bossing was good. It was a pretty different experience. We haven't had a gauntlet that had like this kind of super slow progression. I want to say ever. Like the
Hmm.
very first one was pretty slow, but that's because we were bad at the game. Like
Yeah.
that could have been done much faster, but it's always been much quicker than this.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but your Glorious Plate bounty got beaten 4 minutes before the gauntlet ended.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, Virus said he knew about it like a couple days ago, but like he couldn't say, of course. And with those kind of bounties, they never get submitted by non-streamers until the very end, so you never really know how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Would you have been able to beat it if you knew?
If I knew, yes, I could have decided to farm tailoring orbs for like 30 hours straight and gotten
Right.
that same enchant. And I'm sure my roll was better because mine was literally 1 in 4K perfectly divined.
Wow.
But like the difference in enchant is not really beatable.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah. How was Uber's like? Do you feel like did you enjoy the Uber Zeri possession?
I think it definitely was interesting and added, some meaningful amount of like, I guess, freshness to the bossing, but her abilities don't do that much damage. Like, really, if you're in danger of dying to any of her abilities, you're also just going to die to literally like anything that the Ubers do. So, the defense you naturally build kind of counters her pretty well.
At Zeri should do more damage next time. Okay. Um, right. Yeah, and then obviously we had the Oasis. That was quite different. What was your final thoughts on that?
Well, the Oasis was kind of just like how the mapping normally felt, like in like a Power Gauntlets, it was, I think, only missing haste, right, from, like,
Hmm.
what the map mods used to be.
Yeah.
So, like, that felt pretty normal, and then you stepped out of the Oasis into a hellish landscape of yellow and red maps.
Was there anything you like really didn't like, or anything that you particularly did like?
I like the bossing. I like the campaign. I was surprised how easy the campaign felt. Like, when I
Same.
read the mods, I was like, "This is gonna be really difficult," and then actually playing through it, it felt fine. Farm chamber to 53, and then it was kind of like a straight line through after that.
Yeah.
It's all kinda fine.
I don't
I've
know.
spoken a lot about the bands as one of the things that, I'm not the biggest fan of, but the campaign was fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree, but like I'm in like Act 8 right now, and I would say it's the easiest or second easiest campaign we've ever had. Like we did have a very easy gauntlet, but I thought the campaign was quite easy as well.
I wouldn't go that far. I think that could have to do with just, like, whatever build you're playing or maybe, like, early Wildwood, like, contributing a lot to defense. Like,
Early
Barkskin is
Wildwood is
super
huge.
OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barkskin is really unfair, but just going off mods, like, 320, 318, 316, all the way down to 312 had to have been, like, easier campaigns, and not the 312, that one still had minus resist.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing that I really want to hope GGD could do would be a harder campaign, but each act loses its mods once you kill them, so that it's just like something you only have to do once.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have if they wanted to. When it comes to, like, second campaign run-throughs, it's like I feel like as long as you didn't die, like, either in campaign or very shortly after entering maps, usually
Yeah.
you're gonna have, like, some starting essences, some alchs, chaos for, like, crafting your gear, and, like, you kinda roll the campaign the second time.
It's mostly for people that like die in Act 4, then in Act 6, then in Act 8. It's very
Yeah,
demotivating.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. As for the bans, the main thing we go for there is we try to avoid skills that, like, ideally we don't want to ban at all, but we try to avoid skills that we think a lot of different classes would play. Because, especially for viewers, I think that adds a lot of viewer fatigue. Like, if every or 3 or 4 different classes are playing Seismic.
Yeah, Seismic definitely was, in its prime. It was that candidate that was. I think in 318, Seismic could have cleared on every single class without ascending.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild.
That was a wild one. That was a wild one. Awesome. Well, you are the winner. You are the undisputed winner of the gauntlet. Very impressive run. And dude, yeah, thank you so much for pushing so hard and just it's been a blast watching you run. I think everyone in chat appreciates it too.
Yeah, thanks for running the events. This always creates like a pretty unique experience that you can't really get in like the base game.
Absolutely. No, it's so fun to watch too. It was very different cast this time. So that was fun. But yeah, thank you so much, dude.
All right, thanks for having me.
Bye. Next up, we have Jungroan, and that's probably the only interviews we're going to do this time. I think he has a camera. Jung, you are rank 1 Shadow, rank 3 overall, which was actually very surprising to me. I wasn't expecting other Ubers from people, but you do take home, let me see. So obviously not a final count, but roughly $2,000 you win during this gauntlet. So congratulations on that, absolute beast. And honestly, I thought you were gonna maybe full clear there at a minute. Your build looked very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think I could have. I think I just like had bad movement, honestly. Like, not a lot of reps going into those fights this time, but it was better as expected, I think.
So you did end up dying to Edziri there at the end. That was, I would say, what mostly contributed to your death. How do you feel about Edziri being in the gauntlet like that with the ghost?
I think Edziri's weird because she has bleed, and I think that changes how every fight felt, just because of how like, it disables Lethe Shade. And if you're taking Lethe Shade and you're playing like a trader build where I don't have like bleed cleanse, that's 8 seconds plus another 4 seconds, like 12-second Lethe Shade intervals that are disabled.
Yeah.
So I don't love that. I wish she did more damage as well. Like two to 3 times more damage, I think, would actually be much more fun in terms of the boxing experience, though. Because like Shaper Eater, those are like joke fights, I think.
Right. So
There's no Lethe Shade. Like,
at 2 or 3 times more damage, she will basically one shot though, right?
she would have been doing about 4K to me.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I guess the fireballs did the majority of the damage and she just polished off your health.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, there were a lot of changes this time. We had an Oasis, we had Transfigured Seal Gems only, and you were one of the people affected a lot by the Transfigured Seal Gems rules. How would you like sum up your thoughts on this gauntlet compared to past ones?
I think this gauntlet was mostly about risk management in the sense of like the unknown. So I don't think that like the Oasis mattered. I don't think red maps were hard, and I don't think yellow maps were hard. When I was actually running them, I didn't actually change my build mapping wise from day 2 to day 8.
Mhm.
Or sorry, well, I guess I ended on day 5, so day 4. But like I never dropped below like 85% health, I think. Things just didn't actually do that much damage. Like obviously there's like cannibals and things like that you can die to, I think, with multi-proj.
Yeah.
But that's sort of just like it'll always kill you, no matter what. I think everything else is kind of just like if you had the balls to do it, you could progress early and not sit in that sort of quote unquote oasis. As far as transfer skill gems, I think that was really frustrating from a pre-event perspective more than anything.
Okay.
Because it's like I think the way that a lot of like build making would go was like you think about the core concept of what you want to do, and then you're like, oh yeah, there's like 5-6 skills I can use for this for sure. And then at the end of it, like the build I actually want to play was Ancestral Protector, and there's no chance for that. So I just didn't really have a tech for that, right? But I think it's like, it is what it is. You always play within your constraints, right?
Yeah, no, I'm shocked to hear that. It's very cool. I do love that you always bring out like very unique and different builds for events, because I don't think many people do, and you always end up playing something different. So it's like a bit like you're always putting on a show.
I think it's just doing that is sort of like a concession. It's the idea that like if Ben and Nick are playing in an event and I'm playing the same build as them, I will never win on the event on player skill alone. You know what I mean? So there has to be a competitive advantage from somewhere else, like whether that's practice or like innovation or something. So that's just what that is actually.
So do you like that there's a class gauntlet then, right? That you can win rank 1 in something else?
No, I don't like the class gauntlet element. I like don't care about winning class. I don't really care about like rank 2 overall. In fact, I don't really care about like winning or losing per se. It's like you kind of, especially in an event like this, I felt like you just set your own goals and you can either achieve those or you don't. and what everyone else is doing is completely independent because a Mage Blade could just drop when you're MFing, you know.
True.
So and then
Yeah.
that guarantees you're clear. Like if you had a Mage Blade and didn't clear, like crazy, right?
2 people did get a Mage Blood. They did die a little bit pre-level 90.
Yeah.
Poor guys. Poor guys.
Yeah.
What was your favorite fight that you did?
I don't know. I think the one I really wanted to be doing was Exarch. It was the fight that I didn't know how to plan out. Like I think Maven is probably. I didn't like Maven because she's bugged right now, right? She's
Right.
missing her most dangerous Gauntlet mechanic.
Yep.
But I think the one that was the most illuminating for me was Uber Shaper because we actually have so much control that fight. Like I felt like there was no enrage. I could have sat there for like 30, 40, 50 minutes, even with my build not having good recovery or anything. So I don't know. I think it was just like all the fights are kind of just the same, actually, from my perspective. Just had to play a
Okay.
little bit better.
Cool. Well, dude, thank you so much for putting on a great performance in the Gauntlet. I hope you had a lot of fun. And yeah, hopefully we'll have more Gauntlets where you can kick ass in.
Yeah, it's always a great time. Just hopefully next time more people compete, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll force Steel not to cast. Maybe I'll force Ben to cast next time.
Maybe
Just
you can
kidding.
not cast next time, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it when I compete.
All right, have a good one.
All right, see you later, dude. Thank you. That was Jungroan.